Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing. Now, Lawrence Okolie has been added to Anthony Joshua's undercard, where he will take on Oleksandr Usyk on September 25th at Tottenham Hotspur's stadium. Now, the challenger for Okolie is Dylan Prazovic, and he is from Montenegro. He is the challenger by mandatory status to Lawrence Okolie. Now, of course, Lawrence Okolie won the world title against Glowacki and he put in an incredible performance in that contest, albeit against Glowacki. Now, Glowacki is a good fighter, so it was a good win, but you could see how in that contest, Lawrence Okolie was just all wrong for him. And you do wonder how far Lawrence Okolie can go in that cruiserweight division. Because there are fighters such as Dorticus and Marius Bradis, there are opportunities there for Lawrence Okolie. He's only had 16 fights, he's only 28 years old, so there is still plenty of time, and he can gather more momentum by getting a victory over his mandatory challenger. Now, Prazovic is undefeated in 15 pro bouts, 12 of them have come by knockout. He hasn't really had that big step-up fight. I mean, the last guy he fought had quite a few losses on his resume. Maybe that was just an in-between fight, but still, he hasn't had that big fight to tell you that he could be a danger to Lawrence Okolie when it comes to if Lawrence Okolie is that good to be considered alongside Dorticus and Marius Bradis. So you would hope that Lawrence Okolie is able to deal with this guy. He is tough and it won't be easy because this guy is undefeated. He doesn't know how to lose. So it will represent some kind of challenge for Lawrence Okolie. It isn't going to be easy, none of them are at this level, but facing a mandatory for Okolie at this stage will probably be good for him because he has just won the world title and he is only 16 fights in. And I know that we could say that Oleksandr Usyk was winning world championships before his 10th fight. But then look at the amateur pedigree. That's not there for Lawrence Okolie, so he is still learning on the job, and that is why we got performances like we saw in the Chamberlain fight, where he is jabbing and grabbing, holding, dancing around. I mean, it's like Strictly Come Dancing at some points. That's not necessarily his fault. He is grinding out the victory. If he is able to keep winning, then he can keep learning from fight to fight. And look where it has gotten him. Now, Okolie hasn't always been the best fighter on the inside. That's why he does hold, because he doesn't really know what he's doing in there. Now, that is being added to with Shane McGuigan. There are things that they are working on to make sure that Lawrence Okolie is better on the inside and working out of situations instead of just holding, because he can't keep doing that. It's not the most entertaining, and there will be fighters who are experienced and maybe at some point stronger than him, and he will struggle when he gets to that point. So working on the inside is something that he has had to add to his game, something we also saw a lot more of in the Glowacki fight. Now, of course, Lawrence Okolie is a big guy. He's around 6'5", so you would be wondering if he goes to bridgerweight, then heavyweight. I would imagine he'll go bridgerweight first. I think that he is keen to do that. So once he has cleared up in the cruiserweight division, if he is able to do so, I would imagine he'll move on. But there are still plenty of fish to fry in the cruiserweight division, so this could springboard him into a bigger opportunity to unify against one of the other champions. That is ultimately what Lawrence Okolie will be looking to do, to follow in the footsteps of Anthony Joshua, not just become a world champion and defend against mandatories and have voluntaries. He will want to go and challenge himself and see who is genuinely number one in that cruiserweight division. That is very important to him and will be important to his legacy, because I know he's a world champion, incredible achievement, but there is still more that he can do and more that he is capable of. Let's hope we get to see that in the future with Lawrence Okolie. There is a big card coming together for the Anthony Joshua versus Usyk fight, and there is also another certain heavyweight event that will happen at the end of October, and that is Dillian Whyte. Now, we don't as of yet know his opponent, but we do know that it is possible Alan Babic will be on the undercard. So again, another heavyweight fight that will have a strong undercard, as we hope. I mean, Alan Babic is always entertaining, always brings value for money, and guess what? Dave Allen, come back, got a victory. he is talking about that fight. I don't think that that is a good idea for Dave Allen at the moment, and I don't genuinely think that that will happen. I think Dave Allen is doing the right thing. I know that he retired and then came back, and that's not always the best thing to do, not always the best move, but sometimes that can help him get a better perspective of the boxing world and see things from afar instead of being in it, because when he is in it, he can't really understand maybe what's going on. Sometimes it's better to take a step back and see things for what they truly are. And what he understands is going in there with Luis Ortiz, Dillian White straight away. That doesn't work for him, might earn him a lot of money, but it doesn't progress his career because he'll take a loss if he doesn't train right. I mean, he's never going to have a chance. So realistically, he doesn't even know his own level because he hasn't challenged himself and been in the best shape. He might just have a bad night at the office, he might not be in shape, he might be in there with someone who is genuinely too good for him, but unless he is in the right place mentally all the time for say 3 fights consistently, in shape, 3 fights consistently, in there with a certain level of opponent, 3 fights consistently, maybe building up to a better opponent, only then will he truly realise his level. If he doesn't do that, which he hasn't done in the past, he won't know. So he is doing the right thing now by taking fights like he did last night, and then maybe having one more, then another, and reassessing the situation. It is a smart move from him to not necessarily just go back with Eddie Hearn and ask him to hit the Dave Allen button and chuck him in there with Alan Babic, because there is this new guy coming along, and they need someone to chuck in with him and keep challenging him. That would make Dave Allen just cannon fodder, and he doesn't need to be that. He has built his profile, he's had some good fights, he's beat Lucas Brown, a former world champion. So he doesn't necessarily need to be in that position, so he can build something with a clear foundation now and move on. As long as he keeps stepping up gradually, then he can understand his level, maybe win an English title, a British title. That could be possible for Dave Allen, but looking at a fight with Alan Babic, I don't think that that will work for Dave Allen now, or even in the early stages of next year. That could be something he sets his sights on and works towards, but he needs a good number of victories, and ultimately a good number of training camps, good sparring, good preparation, and being in the right place mentally to be able to be ready for that kind of contest. Good thing is as well, at this stage he doesn't have to rush. He has already made a good deal of money out of the sport, so he can do it now for the right reasons, instead of just grabbing a few bob here and there and stepping up when he doesn't really need to. And as I said previously, if he has something to work towards, maybe headlining the O2 or something like that again, then he does have something he can build up to, and maybe that could happen next year or the year after. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Pick your favourite subject and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.